Nah, bro, I can't fucking do this, bro. I don't think I could wait a month, bro. With the beta ending this past weekend and the game literally only 4 weeks away, which is crazy to think about, I feel like we got a pretty good grasp of what the game is gonna play and feel like for the most part. I wanted to take a couple days to make this video so I could like fully digest it and actually think about like what I want to say, because I had 40 hours of playtime across both weekends. Based on the numbers, it's definitely the best COD beta we've had to date, and it definitely felt like it. We had the most game modes, the most access to things, and at least it was better than this piece of shit. I released a review of the Vanguard beta like almost a year ago, just me shitting on the game for 3 minutes straight. And how you gonna call this a World War II game when they got shit releasing like this, bro? Like, what the fuck am I looking at? So at least we know this COD is going to be better than last year's. But with that being said, Modern Warfare 2 looks great. It feels great. It plays great. It's got solid maps. The UI in the HUD looks new. It makes it feel like a new game that I'm playing. Because in COD, usually they just copy and paste the HUD. But with this game, they completely changed it, which I can appreciate. And based on the beta, I can already tell this game is going to be better than Modern Warfare 2019. Like when I hopped on the beta for the first time, I was actually stunned by how good it looked. And for the people that are complaining about the graphics, they gotta be playing on a fucking 10-year-old PS4 that is able to cook steak. Like, what the? But overall, the game looks great, and the new gunsmith is actually perfect. It's literally chef's kiss. Like, I feel like there's so much variety you can make with these classes, and I love the fact that you don't have to unlock an attachment more than once, which was one of the biggest issues in previous Call of Duties. And people have stated that the attachments somehow make your gun worse because some of the attachments have more cons than actual pros, because now you actually have to make a class that is balanced all around instead of just having pros and not thinking about the cons of the gun. And we really can't fully judge the gunplay quite yet because first of all, we haven't even used all the guns and all the attachments weren't even in the beta. But for the most part, the attachments have been the exact same for the past couple Call of Duty. So the gunsmith is actually one of the best changes they've made this year. But the recoil and visibility on guns has to improve. They did fix it because it was absolutely terrible during the first weekend. Weekend 2, it was better, but I feel like it could still be better. I don't know, just the muzzle flashes being gray instead of just transparent. I feel like that's what's ruining it. I think they could fix this before launch. And nameplates on enemies, like I really wouldn't mind if they added nameplates back, but if you see a person moving without a nameplate, that is an enemy. So I'm pretty sure there's a clear distinction between your teammates and your enemies. The time to kill in this game is weird. It's pretty inconsistent, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's literally just because of the fact of the headshot multiplier is so random on guns, and it just makes for chaotic and weird gunfights that come down to luck. Because if someone gets a headshot on you, it's over. You're gonna die instantly. Because sometimes I feel like the TTK could be really fast or really slow, but I think it literally just all depends on where you aim at the body. Also, and the sprint to fire speed is pretty slow. I feel like if they could just speed that up for a bit or just make it more consistent, I feel like more gunfights wouldn't be as random. But I don't know if it's just my controller having issues or not, but the sprint to fire is pretty slow at times. And the flashes and stuns in this game are actually pretty insane, but I think they're pretty balanced because when you get flashed, yeah, your screen turns completely white, but you could still move. So if you have map knowledge of where you're going, a flash shouldn't be that hard to counter. But with the stun, you're stunned, but you could still see. I think the stuns and flashes are pretty balanced, but they are still strong, which makes them actually worth using, especially because Battle Hardened is pretty weak. And the maps for the most part are pretty solid. Like there's not a single map that I hate, but there's not a map that I truly love. Like I think all the maps that we got in the beta so far are pretty good, even though some people hate on the museum because it's too big, but most of the gunfights happen in the middle of the map. Like if you got people just sitting at the random edges of the map, then it could get pretty bad. But for the most part, I didn't find that many issues on that map. And the spawns could be better. Like when I be playing domination, I'll be spawning at B sometimes, and the map will literally get cut in half. But then again, that is something that they could fix completely. And I gotta say, the ragdolls, when you die, it makes dying 10 times better. Like I can't even get mad when I die just because of the fact that I see these ragdolls just flying around on my screen. Like just look at this shit, bro. This is like the one thing I hope that they don't change at all. Please do not touch this. Just leave this in the game, Infinity Ward. I am begging you. And also another thing is that game chat is definitely back in this game.
Hey, Milkman, I'm gonna fucking squeeze your titties.
That's why I just shit on your teammate. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You're 6'8", bitch.
Did this motherfucker just say he's gonna squeeze his dick? with the music in Search and Destroy when you're planning and defusing a bomb, I think that shit is so hype. It literally feels like you're watching a movie, especially with the helmet cam. I know they're not the first game to do this, but it's a good addition to the game. If we could change options from first person to third person when we're spectating, along with the helmet cam and Search and Destroy, I think that would just be perfect. But moving on to the hard-hitting subjects about this game, things that people stay talking about. First, we got SBMM, aka skill-based matchmaking. I gotta say, that shit is way too strong, especially for the beta. Like, how are you gonna have skill-based matchmaking in a beta? Like, are you kidding me? I'm just trying to play the game, bro. I'm not trying to play against fucking Scump in a CDL tournament, bro. Like, I'm chilling, I'm good. And this is like one of the few things I don't think they will change, which is fine, but you just gotta try harder. You just gotta get better. But if they could just add a ranked play where they have skill-based matchmaking there and then public match for just casuals that are just trying to have a good time, that would be the perfect thing, which makes the most sense, and every other game does it except for this game. We will never know why, but it is what it is. Disbanding lobbies, they actually did mention this, and I hope that they don't keep this, that they just keep the same lobbies, especially when you're talking to people. It just sucks when you're having your lobby disbanded every time. I think they should keep the lobbies, especially when people are talking in game chat, because we all know that they're listening, bro. You do not tell me that they don't see these Search and Destroy clips blowing up just from people talking shit to each other. Like, ain't no way. But they are working on this, so yeah, keep that. Map voting, I really don't mind if there's no map voting or not. It would be nice if it was in the game, but I get that every map wants to have an equal chance, because if there's map voting, there's obviously going to be 1 or 2 maps that are never going to be played. So if you don't see a map you like, just simply back out. But one of the biggest problems with this game is definitely the loud ass footsteps, walking around like you're Bigfoot or some shit. Because when you got SBMM and loud ass footsteps, that leads people to play passive as fuck. Because rather than just playing the game, they're listening to your footsteps, and it's hard not to do it. I do this myself. If I hear someone, I'm gonna stop and sit there and listen to where they are, because that's just human instincts. You're not trying to die, you're trying to kill them. You're trying to get every advantage you can. So it just leads to people camping. So if they could fix the footsteps, make them quieter, or just reduce the range where you could hear footsteps, that would be perfect, because you could quite literally hear footsteps across the map. The movement, I think the movement is great. I honestly do. Although there's no slide canceling, you could still slide cancel, bro. And when the game fully launches, they might patch it, but people are still gonna find a way to slide cancel, bro. It's just what they do. So I don't think movement is gonna be an issue at all when it comes to this game. They're just gonna increase the skill gap by making it harder to slide cancel. That's all they're doing. And bunny hopping is A1 in this game. I think it's way better than it was in Modern Warfare 19. And I think bunny hopping in this game is gonna be more beneficial than slide canceling, in my opinion. Like, bunny hopping is definitely gonna be the meta, bro. Especially with the slow ass sprint to fire time. Like, bunny hopping, you could bunny hop around corners while you're aiming in, so it's just way more beneficial than slide canceling in this game, in my opinion at least. But slide canceling here and there is still beneficial, but it's just not good to do it as much. But the new field upgrades and equipment is actually pretty good in this game. Like the inflatable decoy, genius idea. I'm so glad that they added something like this, because people actually fall for this shit. And the shock stick is good, but it's not overpowered, because when they do get shocked, they do stand still, but you're able to shoot your gun, so you at least get a chance. And if you do fall into the shock stick, that's literally your own fault. That shit is so easy to see. And the drill charge was a good implementation to the game as well. And I'm glad that Dead Silence is still a field upgrade, because why would it be a perk? That would just be way too OP. Whoever thinks that it should be a permanent perk, what? Why? Although they could reduce the charge up for Dead Silence by like a lot, because I feel like I'd be getting it every other life, like 2 or 3 times per game. I'd be getting that shit like 10 times per game. But the new perk system is pretty cool, although some people don't like it, because you start off with 2 perks, which I can't agree with. I think you should start off with 3 and then get your bonus perk like when you normally get it. But the 2 perks, you're gonna get your 3rd one anyway, so I feel like it really doesn't matter. And I'm glad that they made a distinction of the really good perks and the okay perks. Like the okay perks are your basic perks that you get at the start of the game, while your good ass perks like Ghost, High Alert are stuff that you get at the end of the game. But the perk system is cool. It was nice that they switched it up, but it would be nice if you started off with 3 perks instead of 2, and then you just get your 1 at the end. I think that would have been perfect, but it is what it is. And finally, bro, the fucking mini map. I really don't see the issue with the mini map. When people shoot, you just gotta listen, but the footsteps were a problem, so either one of them's gotta change. The footsteps gotta get quieter, or or the minimap has to change. But I do think the footsteps are changing, so the minimap shouldn't be an issue. And they literally can't change the minimap anyways because bird's eye is a perk, and it would just be ridiculous if that was a perk in the game while the minimap was still normal. Or they could just add a new perk that gives you the traditional minimap at the start of the game, and everyone could just shut the fuck up about this shit. And other solutions for the minimap, you could just get a UAV. I feel like getting a UAV is not that hard. So if you can't get that, I've got some news for you, buddy. So I feel like the minimap won't be an issue if footsteps are fixed. But with all that being said and all the issues this game might have, I think it has potential to be a top 5 COD ever, or maybe even the greatest. Who knows what this game could be? This game has all the potential in the world, but it means nothing if Infinity Ward won't listen to their community. If they're not listening to their community when the game is out, then this game won't last. And everyone is getting so mad at Infinity Ward for like the simplest things because they know, everyone knows that this game is good. They just need to make the right changes before the game comes out in order for this game to be as best as it possibly could. They really just need to fix the little things. There's no big adjustments that they really need to make. Like a minimap, they could fix that. Footsteps, they could fix that. The perk system, maybe not, but I don't have any issues with it. People are just angry because they know how great this game can be. And Infinity Ward is like right there. But until then, we're gonna be waiting. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm excited as hell for this game to drop. I'm about to be grinding it. I'm about to be posting videos on it. I'm about to be streaming it. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.